What has been the toughest thing about playing with LeBron James?
I wouldn't say any toughest.
That's the answer I was looking for.
Oh.
That's just the answer I was looking for right there. It's not tough. It should be easy to play with him.
Luka Dončić sat down with Snoop Dogg like it was just another chill interview, but nobody expected him to drop a line that would crack open the biggest split in NBA culture right now. This wasn't some harmless joke. It hit way deeper than people realized. He starts talking about LeBron James and how everyone keeps praising his longevity. Then Luka says something that stops the whole room. I might not even be able to walk anymore. He laughs, but you can tell there's real truth behind it. And that's the crazy part. This wasn't just Luka being funny. This was Luka showing exactly what kind of player he is. And it's the complete opposite of what today's NBA tries to promote. LeBron celebrates reaching year 23, while Luka basically admits he might never push his body that far. And he's cool with that.
Just wants to be great, man. Just talk about his 23rd season. I said I might not be able to walk no more at 23rd season, and he's still doing it at the best of the best.
And it's just basketball. At the end of the day, it's just basketball.
Like you mentioned a little bit about today's game, because we had Club on here and he talked about load management. He said, I don't know what the hell that is. Where is it going? And that's number one. And number two, how do we get it back?
Even for me, I love the NBA game, but then I turn on to a game, right? And then the stars are not playing because of load management. It's hurting the game.
And before you think that sounds negative, hold up. This might be one of the most championship-minded things an NBA player has said in years. So here's what went down. Snoop asked Luka what it's like playing with LeBron, and Luka gives the expected answer. He praises LeBron, talks about how wild it is that he's still dominating in season 23. All normal, until Luka drops a line that flips everything. He jokes about how he might not even be walking by season 23, but the way he says it, you can tell he means it. Luka knows what he's putting his body through. He knows the price he pays, and he's fine with it because one thing matters to him: winning.
That's amazing to know that you had a relationship with Kobe Bryant and now you playing with LeBron James in the building that means so much to us in LA. Does any of that go through your head while you playing and on a mission for a championship, thinking about that?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, Kobe brought so many championships here. LeBron brought a championship here, so I want to be the next one to do it for sure. But just, I met Kobe, I playing with LeBron just as a little kid in Slovenia. I just wanted to play basketball. Just wanted to touch the NBA, and now I'm playing with the best.
And when Snoop brings up championships, Luka's reaction says everything. He says, Kobe brought so many championships here. LeBron brought a championship here. Did you hear that difference? Kobe brought many. LeBron brought one. That's not a shot at LeBron. That's Luka showing you who he grew up studying, who his real blueprint is. Then Snoop spins those championship rings, talking about bringing magic back to LA. And Luka doesn't mention longevity, never talks about playing into his 40s. He focuses on one thing: getting that ring. Even with the baby on the way and a whole life waiting for him outside the game, Luka's mind stays locked on one thing: championships, no distractions. The man is showing that even with family responsibilities growing, his hunger for winning doesn't fade for a second. But here's where it gets real, because Luka's playing style right now is exposing something the modern NBA never wants to say out loud.
But you have to really play hard. Does that hurt you physically?
No, because when I play hard all the time. It's no turn it on here, turn it off here. It's just 110% at all times.
We come to practice, he's on one leg. Like he was hurt the second year, he was on one leg the whole year and played 82 games. Wow. And so he practiced every day and he played every game on one leg. And so you're like, man, MJ, why don't you just sit up? How can I be the leader of the team and sit out and y'all going through all the credit? I gotta be there.
I twisted my ankle and I had a teammate, David Greenwood. He says, you twist your ankle, young fella, come over and sit with me. This is, you need to. I said, no, man, I'm trying to make a name for myself. There's no way I can sit. I need to get out there and show what I'm capable of. I want to play, I want to win. I want to make an impact.
There are two completely different paths to greatness, and only one of them truly leads to multiple championship runs. Let's break down what's really happening. On one side, you've got the longevity mindset. The modern NBA formula. Protect your body, choose your moments, play smart, hit year 20 and beyond. Stack up counting stats, make history, climb the all-time leaderboards. LeBron James is the face of this style. He knows when to push, when to chill, when to manage his minutes. Sometimes he even sits when he's healthy if the schedule looks rough. And honestly, it works. The guy is 40 and still dropping numbers like it's nothing. He's about to own every major longevity record the league even tracks. But then there's the other lane, the old school mentality, the Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan blueprint. You go hard every game like it's your last breath. No asking for rest, no taking nights off. You fight through injuries plenty of players would sit for. You throw your whole body into the grind for one thing, rings. And here's the truth people don't like hearing. This style leaves your body wrecked, but it brings more championships. Look at Kobe, 20 seasons of pure intensity. And by the end, his body paid the price in full. Kobe tore his Achilles at 34, and by 37, he could barely move. His body just wouldn't respond anymore. His final season looked painful at times. You could see the toll. But when he walked away, he wasn't empty-handed. He left with 5 championship rings. 5 times he stood on that stage holding the Larry O'Brien trophy high.
I competed hard. I played the game the way it was supposed to be played. I played injured, and I played with a lot of pride. So I owe everything to the NBA.
Michael Jordan, the Magic Johnsons, Larry Bird, Charles Barkley's, we earned what we got. When the corporate America came to us, we had a game that could validate their admiration
and sponsorship and all that, yeah.
Now they get that before they play one game.
Yeah.
So you're rolling the dice to see if this kid's ever going to be good or not.
Yeah.
So in essence, you're paying the kid off of potential.
Yeah.
That he may be great.
You don't think that's good?
No, because I think it sets bad work ethic. When you get something so easily, you're not going to work as hard.
Michael Jordan played 15 seasons, took breaks in between, came back, retired at 40, then came back again for a short run. By the end, his knees were gone and he couldn't explode like before. But he still walked away with 6 rings. 6 times he proved he was the best in the world when the stakes were highest. Now compare that to LeBron James. He's in year 23 right now, still in incredible shape for his age, still performing at a high level. He's going to break almost every record in league history. Most games played, most points ever, all of it. But at the end of the day, he has 4 rings, 4 championships in 23 seasons, and he played with multiple All-Stars and stacked rosters. So here's the uncomfortable question nobody likes asking. What's more impressive, playing forever or winning more championships? Now let's talk about what Luka Dončić actually did this season, because this is where everything becomes real. This is where you see which path Luka chose. And trust me, he's not following the LeBron longevity blueprint. He's on the Kobe sacrifice everything for greatness plan. Luka missed 18 games this season. And yeah, that number looks rough at first glance. But here's the important part. Every single one of those missed games came from legit injuries. No load management, no fake rest days, nothing cautious. 0 games where he sat just to conserve energy. Luka played through a calf strain that should have sidelined him for weeks. He played through a knee injury that had him limping down the floor. After 1 game, he literally left the arena on crutches. And he still pushed himself to come back early. And here's the wild part. He lost MVP eligibility because of it. The league now has that 65-game rule to prevent load management. But Luka didn't miss games because of load management. He missed them because he pushed himself so hard that his body finally forced him to sit. He sacrificed MVP votes because he refused to rest when his team needed him on the court. Think about that. LeBron never dealt with this problem. LeBron manages his body perfectly, always hitting the required number of games, always calculating what he needs to stay eligible. But Luka played with such intensity that he literally played himself out of the MVP race. And even when his team went 6-2 without him and proved they could hold things down, his mindset didn't change. He just kept fighting to get back on the floor. He rushed back because he couldn't handle sitting on the sidelines. It aided him every second he wasn't out there with his squad. That's the Kobe mentality in real time. That's what it looks like when a player cares more about showing up for every fight than saving himself for the future. And here's the part that gets people arguing. We don't know yet if this mindset is genius or reckless. We won't know for another 10 years. But here's what is clear right now. The players who lived this way in the past ended up with more rings. Kobe's body gave out at 37, but he walked away with 5 championships. Jordan's body eventually broke down too, but he left with 6. LeBron's body is still holding strong, but he's sitting at 4. So which approach really leads to more titles? And here's something a lot of people don't know about Luka. He met Kobe Bryant when he was still a young kid, way before he became an NBA star, before all the hype, before the draft talk. Luka crossed paths with the Black Mamba early, and you can tell it stuck with him. Because when Luka talks about Lakers championships in that Snoop interview, listen to his words carefully. Kobe brought so many championships here, you know, LeBron brought a championship here. That phrasing hits different. Kobe brought many. LeBron brought 1. Luka could have said they both brought titles. He could have said they both won championships, but he didn't. He separated them, and he mentioned Kobe first. Now picture how Kobe's final years looked. The man played his last game with a torn rotator cuff. He spent whole seasons basically without knees. He couldn't explode off the floor. He could barely slide defensively. But he still showed up for all 82 games in multiple seasons, because that's how champions operated. You didn't ask for rest. You didn't load manage. You suited up through everything because your teammates and your fans deserved it. That was the standard Kobe lived by. And here's what separated Kobe from LeBron in this area. Kobe's teammates watched him tear his body apart for championships. They saw him fight through injuries that should have ended his season. They saw him refuse to sit out even when it made no sense medically. That kind of commitment builds a culture. It creates a whole mindset inside the locker room. When your best player never takes a night off, nobody else can even think about doing it. If your superstar is out there in the playoffs playing on one good leg, how could anyone else complain about being tired? Now compare that to what LeBron's teammates have seen over the years. They've watched him sit out games even when he's healthy because it's the second night of a back-to-back. They've watched him take strategic rest days for load management. Kobe created something in LA that went way past basketball. He created a standard. That standard was simple. You show up, you play through pain, you don't make excuses, and you chase championships like your life depends on it. That's why he has 5 rings. That's why his teammates would do anything for him. Luka talks about wanting to be the next one to bring a championship back to LA. He mentions both Kobe and LeBron winning there. But when you look at how Luka's playing right now, how he's willing to put his body on the line, how he refuses to load manage even when it costs him MVP eligibility, it's clear he's following the Kobe blueprint, not the LeBron one. Now here's where things get spicy, because these are the questions that make people uncomfortable. But they're real questions that need answers, and the only way to figure out which path actually works better is to ask them straight up. First question, if LeBron James had played with Kobe Bryant's mentality, would he have more than 4 rings right now? Think about that. LeBron has played with D-Wade, Chris Bosh, Kyrie Irving, Kevin Love, Anthony Davis, basically elite teammates his whole career. He's been on super teams again and again. He's always had talent around him. But he's also taken plenty of games off for rest and load management, especially in these later years. So here's the real question. What if he played all 82 games every season the way Kobe did? What if he never took a night off, never sat for rest, never paced himself? Would he be sitting on 6 rings right now? 7? We'll never get a clear answer, but it's something you can't ignore. The counter-argument is obvious. By preserving his body, LeBron stayed in the championship picture across 3 different decades. That's the whole longevity mindset. Stay healthy longer, stretch your prime, give yourself more shots at the title. But if you don't convert those chances at the same rate, does having more chances even matter? Now here's the second question. Is making it to year 23 really that impressive if you sat out 50+ games along the way to reach it? LeBron is about to wipe out every longevity record in the book. Most games, most minutes, most seasons. But how many of those numbers would he still have if he played every game like Jordan and Kobe did? And does it matter? Should we care more about longevity stats, or is the only number that truly counts the number of championship rings? Now here's the third question, and this one hits right at the core. What would Kobe Bryant say about load management? We actually do know the answer, at least partly, because Kobe spoke on this before he passed away. He didn't call anyone out directly, but his stance was crystal clear. He said he played hurt because he never wanted to let down his teammates. He said sitting out when you could play was disrespectful to the fans who paid to see you. His entire legacy was built on one idea. You show up, no excuses, no shortcuts, no hiding from the grind. So what would he say about a player sitting out a game while healthy? It's not hard to imagine, because it's the second night of a back-to-backs. What would Kobe say about that? What would he say about load management protocols? We all know the answer, and Luca clearly knows it too. That's why he plays through injuries instead of chilling on the bench. That's why he lost MVP eligibility for going too hard. He's following the Kobe code every night. Now here's the fourth question, and this one is probably the most controversial of them all. Did the era matter? In the 90s and early 2000s, if you sat out and weren't seriously injured, people called you soft. Fans roasted you, media blasted you, your toughness got questioned straight up. That was the culture back then. But in the 2000s and 10s and 2000s and 20s, everything flipped. If you don't rest, people call you reckless. They say you're ruining your future, that you're being careless with your body. The mentality completely changed. So which era actually got it right? Which culture built more killers? Which mindset created more champions? Look at the champions from each era. The 90s had Jordan and the Bulls playing every game. 6 rings, dynasty status. The 2000s had Kobe and Shaq, then Kobe and Powell, fighting through everything, bringing home 5 rings with Kobe. But the 2000s 10s and 2000s 20s, the Warriors won behind motion offense and smart rest plans. The Raptors won with Kawhi Leonard barely playing half the season. The Bucks won, the Nuggets won. But none of those squads became dynasties like the Bulls or Lakers. None of those stars became mythical the way Jordan and Kobe did. Maybe that's just timing. Or maybe there's something real behind the sacrifice mentality. Maybe the refuse to sit mindset builds legends in a way the preserve your body approach never will. And now the fifth and final question. Does your best player's approach to the regular season shape your entire championship culture? It might matter way more than people think. When LeBron sits out a game while healthy and his teammates see it, what message does that send? Compare that to Kobe's teammates watching him drag one leg across the court, watching him push through pain, watching him refuse to take even a single night off. Which environment builds a tougher, more battle-ready team culture? I'm not saying there's a perfect answer, but these questions matter. Because what Luca is doing right now says everything about the path he believes leads to titles. Playing through real injuries, sacrificing MVP chances, refusing to load manage. That's a clear statement from Luca. He's telling everyone which mentality he thinks produces champions. And here's why this hits different for Lakers fans. Luka Dončić is just 25, and he's already headed straight into a fight with his own body. He's playing the way Kobe played, refusing to sit, pushing himself through everything, choosing winning over preservation every single night. And he just told Snoop Dogg his goal is to bring a championship to LA. But here's the part nobody wants to admit. There's a ticking clock. Luka has maybe a 10-year window before his body starts breaking down if he keeps playing like this. Kobe's body started slipping around age 34. His Achilles tear at 34 was the beginning of the end. If Luka follows that same path Lakers fans have until he's about 35 to get as many championships as possible. 10 years sounds long, but in NBA years, that's a tight window. The Lakers just traded for Luka. They've still got LeBron in year 23. They've got Anthony Davis. The pieces are on the table. But the window is smaller than people think, because if Luka keeps sacrificing his body at this pace, this won't be a 15-year partnership. It'll be an intense, explosive, burn bright, then fade run, just like Kobe's peak era. And honestly, maybe that's exactly what Lakers fans want. Maybe they don't want another superstar planning out year 23 before year 10 even starts. Maybe they want someone who'll empty the tank every game, someone who'll play hurt, someone who'll bring back that Mamba standard. Luka's already showing he's that guy. Now imagine Luka stays healthy for the next 3 years. The Lakers could seriously chase 3 straight championships. They have the talent, They have the roster, but it only works if Luka keeps this same energy, refusing to load manage, showing up for every fight, sacrificing his body when the moment demands it. But if he switches lanes, if he starts thinking about longevity, if he starts preserving himself for the long game instead of going all in for rings, everything changes. The Lakers might squeeze more years out of him if he slows down, but they might lose that championship urgency that makes a team dangerous. That's the trade-off. You want Kobe's mentality, you get Kobe's shortened prime. You want LeBron's longevity, you get fewer titles per season. Luka has already picked his lane, and the real question is whether Lakers fans are fully ready for what that choice means. So let's tie everything together. When Luka Dončić said he might not even be able to walk by year 23, he wasn't being funny. He was telling you the actual price of greatness, the old school price. He was revealing the path he's committed to. And it's not the modern protect your body and play until 45 lifestyle. It's the Kobe path, the Jordan path, the sacrifice everything for championships mentality. LeBron James is going to finish with more years played than anyone ever. He'll hold every longevity record in the book. He might end up with 5 or even 6 rings before he's done. And that's an incredible career, no doubt. But Kobe Bryant finished with 5 rings in fewer years and became a legend in Los Angeles. Michael Jordan finished with 6 rings and became the icon of a whole generation. Their shorter peaks didn't hurt them. They made their legacies even bigger because they burned so bright while they were on top. And right now, Luka is already showing he chose that same road. He's just 25, and he's playing like his body is replaceable, like every possession matters, like championships are the only currency that counts. He's following the Kobe blueprint, not the LeBron one. And based on history, based on the numbers, based on everything we've seen from the greats who took this route, he might end up with more rings because of it. The question isn't whether Luka's approach is right or wrong. It's whether the league, the fans, and the Lakers themselves understand the price he's about to pay. The real question is simple. What do you value more as a fan? Do you want your superstar playing 23 years, pacing himself, being strategic about when he turns it on? Or do you want the guy who gives you everything right now, burns out by 35, and leaves behind a wall full of championship banners? Luka has already made his choice, and if you're a Lakers fan, you better hope he stays locked into this path. The Kobe way might wear his body down by his mid-30s, but it's also the exact mentality that brought 5 championships to LA. And right now, watching Luka refuse to load manage, watching him fight through injuries, watching him lose MVP eligibility because he played too hard, that looks way more like the start of a dynasty than a mistake. So drop your thoughts below. Which path do you respect more? The player who makes it to year 23 by protecting his body, or the player who sacrifices everything for championships and retires early? Both roads lead to greatness. They just define greatness differently. And the road Luka is walking right now is the same one that historically ends with more parades and more banners in the rafters. If you're a Lakers fan, that's exactly the mentality you should want. If this hit you and you want more breakdowns like this, make sure you smash that subscribe button and share the video, because Luka's journey is just getting started.